Hey, good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? This is K Rev. I am so excited to be here. You know what? Yesterday was my birthday, and I was a little bit out of it, not out of it entire, but no, I was kind of away from social media and a lot of different things because I needed some time to reflect. Like a year in and year start review. I'm thankful because God blessed me to be around this earth one more year. I turned 43. I think 43 looks pretty decent on me right now. And I'm excited. I'm excited because life is not a supposed to be, it is a gift. It is something granted, something's given. So, all the love that I received yesterday, I'm so happy, so thankful to everybody that texted me, that called me, that left the messages on my feed on Facebook. It was amazing. You guys are amazing. I am so happy. I appreciate the love that you guys rendered to me. I mean, what I usually say in those moments is no one has to be nice to you. No one has to be nice. It is not a requirement to live. It's not a requirement to get your bills paid. No one has to do anything for you. But if somebody does something for you, if somebody says hello to you or wish you a happy birthday or buy some gas for you or even just buy you a candy bar, something from the store, listen, is just say thank you. And it's an honor to have so many people to say and wish me well wishes yesterday, and it was great. I truly thank you and appreciate that. Life is amazing. Life is what you make it. I understand that, sometimes it might not seem well like you want it to be. It might not seem like, it's going the way you want it to go. But listen, take some time to reflect. Take some time to reflect and understand that it matters. What you want in your life is determined based on the choices and the people you affiliate yourself with. So maybe it's time to start changing your network. That's what I'm doing. I was on my LinkedIn. Shouts out to everybody that's connected to me on LinkedIn right now. But up until about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I was a bit disturbed with my LinkedIn network, and I wanted more or better, a better group or a higher echelon. And so what I started doing is making up in my mind to connect with better folks or better people. Not to say that the people I'm connected with are not better. We are great together. But you know what I mean? Like, you want to go higher. You want to connect. You want to have millionaire friends. You want people that could be there, the drop of a dime, to drop about $5,000 on you if you need it for your business. So I want to open myself up to greater. And that's what I started to do. If I want more, I got to go and pursue and get more. What I've learned also connected. Shouts out to MBN Matthews Business Network. I'm Mr. Stan Matthews. Your net worth is your network. And so what I've heard through time that a lot of times what you have or who you are sometimes can be based on the 3 to 5 people you hang out with on a daily basis. And so I want my friends and people that I hang out with on a daily basis to have more and know more than me. So I'm excited about life right now. I'm excited about where I'm going. So not to be long, we got a great guest. Listen, my brother and family, I really appreciate him. He had does some great digital marketing design work with me with my brand, and also have his own phenomenal brand, Mr. Blamah Sarnor, the CEO and owner of Web Collaboratives. He has so many things and great things that's going on. Also, listen, we were blessed enough to have him as a creative writer with Standard Mag. So listen, you get maybe one tip today from him, but the rest, in order to get your business where you want to go, listen, you're going to have to subscribe. We are excited. So after my illustrious introductory music, listen, it will be going down on the couch with Mr. Blamah Sarnor on Cade's Couch. Be right back. Yo, Blamah, what's going on, buddy?
That's okay. How you doing, bro?
Hey, listen, man, life is amazing right now. Life is amazing because I'm choosing to make it amazing, man. How about you?
And amen. I totally agree with you, man. Every day is another opportunity to excel, to grow, to expand, to discover, challenge yourself, and experience new things, right?
Yeah, man, it is. It's just another opportunity to do that. Sad to say, though, a lot of people don't take advantage of that, man. Many people choose to sit in a stump and to be upset and mad at something that won't even matter in the next 3 years, brother. So
Yeah.
they choose to sit down and just be upset. But life is made and created to live, and to made and created to where that you don't have any, I guess, hindrances or any borders, man. You got to live. You got to be open. You got to be ready. Mind got to be open. You got to be in a
Yes.
place to receive, man. And
Yes.
so many people are not doing that. So
Yes.
I'm glad to see you here, man, moving and grooving and exploring and stretching yourself out, man. And man, thank you for being here, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Look, this is a great platform, man. I love your vision, and you're one of the guys. Whenever I talk to, I get inspired and I get juiced.
Oh
So,
man.
yeah, whenever I can be around people like you, it's always great for me because it just adds more fuel to my rocket, my
Nice.
rocket spaceship.
I am honored to that, man. I am so honored. So I have to bless God for that because, I didn't make myself. So I have to, have to give honor to the one that created me, man.
That's the
So
truth.
I'm definitely thankful to that, man. So I'm glad you're out. And how was your weekend? How was your weekend, man? How was everything?
It
It's
was
co-
great.
last weekend is, I know the new weekend is coming, but how's your week been?
Man, it's been a lot, man. It's been really great, man. I mean, going to some new territory, and this has been a season for me, man. It's been just like you said, the right word is just expansion and
Hmm.
just transition, man. And whenever you're going through times of expansion and transition, you got to make changes, you got to make adjustments, and it forces you to grow. so,
It
so
does.
that's the exciting thing about it. But then, going into those new territories, you got to come with a different perspective, a new system,
Oh, man.
new team, new work, new idea, new perspectives, and that's the only way you can really go there. You can't go into a new land with the same old thinking, right? You can't go around
You
new people
cannot.
with the same thinking, man. You got to change, otherwise you're gonna get spit right back out. Chewed up and
I
spit out.
love that. I love it, man. Yeah. What took you to the top? 2020 will not take you in 2021 and ongoing. You have to constantly allow yourself to be open, especially in business, individually too, on a personal level. If you want more, you got to strive and get more. You got to hold up, your pride and your integrity, and you got to go, man. You can't let no one turn to your neighbor and say no one. No one. You can't
No
let
one,
no
no
one.
one. I'm
No
out here in
one
space,
stop you.
so
No one, man. So I got some, I want to kind of talk to you and pull some thoughts out of you, man, and want to know a little bit more about you and Web Collaborative and your view on marketing, a bit for business. And it's very important for a business. If you want business, you got to be seen, but not just be seen, but you got to be eye catching. Somebody
yes,
got to be able to, so you got to entice someone. So
yes.
so tell us a little bit more about Web Collaborative and what does it stand for?
Okay, I mean, first of all, as far as our company Web Collaborative, we're a full service digital creative agency. Um, if I say that we have an ethos, I'll say it's about future proofing your business, right?
Mm,
Um, you know, I'm all about driving business results with digital intelligence, especially in this
love
this
it.
this new economy. So, is the more you know, the more you grow, right? So I'm
Hmm.
always in the pursuit of knowledge and looking to expand my mindset and my perspective as far as how to do things and how to streamline things. So, what we do is we help companies to really tap into their creative potential,
Hmm.
their potential to reach the masses, to reach their ideal clients, their ideal audience, but not just to reach them, but to actually make an impact.
Love it.
I believe in not just speaking at people, but speaking to them.
Yeah.
And so I'm really
Yeah.
big on
Yeah.
authenticity and being organic and being true to why you do what you do. I feel like every business has a purpose. There's an origin point, and that's what people resonate with. At the end of the day, communication, that's what it starts with. It starts with your why. What is the
Yeah.
reason that you're doing what you're doing? What is the purpose that you have? What's the aim? What are you trying to achieve? What problems are you trying to solve? And then ultimately how you communicate that. And then
Yes.
how do you bring it to market? How do you deliver it? So I'm really a big picture thinker. So when I work with my clients, I look to help to give them that voice that emotionally their audience can connect with. We
Oh,
specialize in digital strategy, disruptive innovation, combining that. And I keep talking about vision, 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 because I believe in giving clarity, and especially in these days and times and where we're going as information and technology things continue to advance. I believe we got to have clarity because the world becomes more disruptive. So what I like to say is we bring digital clarity in a disruptive world.
I love it, man. I mean, you have to have clarity. And I don't mean to really go biblical all the time, but hey, man, I believe in God. You have
Mhm.
to write the vision and make it plain so you can, run with it. You have to
Mhm.
be in a place to be clear,
Yes.
in your life, and if you want, bigger and better, you just can't do it without planning. You can't just do it
Absolutely.
but you can't not just plan it, but you can't even go after something without seeing it first. So it's
Absolutely.
very important to have a vision. It's very important to, not shy away from what's been given to you. If there
Mhm.
was no vision, if there was no person in that place that wanted to run with what they saw, you wouldn't be driving a car. You wouldn't be on a cell phone. Heck,
Mhm.
we wouldn't even have clothes on because we're wearing somebody else's idea. So we're
Yes.
wearing somebody else's vision.
Yes.
So that's what it is. So vision, man, is
Yeah.
very important. So to have a business like yours that will bring in, how to help branding, how to help to be seen, but also help to characterize and really open the vision of a person's business. Listen, man,
Mhm.
pretty soon I'm going to be having to call your bat line because I won't be able to just, reach out to you like that. So you
Yes.
got to provide me a secondary number, man. So
Yes.
I love that, man. I really, really love that. So so how did you? I mean, this is kind of off script of some of the questions. So how
Mhm.
did you feel, man, when you finally felt or began to really realize that web collaboratives was that business to help bring that vision out of somebody's
Mhm.
business?
It's interesting. I mean, we're talking about vision. So whenever I talk to you, you pull different things out of me, man. So this is funny. You know, it's interesting. Like I believe that vision has a different couple different components, and it's hindsight, insight, and foresight. Okay,
Hmm.
and so what happens with many businesses and with people in general is like they lose track along the path as far as why am I doing what I'm doing or where am I trying to
Hmm.
go. And
Right.
it's funny, like with the way Web Collaborative really started is, it wasn't one of those things where like I explicitly chose it. It's one of those type of things where it kind of chose me in a sense because
Right.
there's certain skills, certain areas I was curious in, I was really intrigued in. It was in technology, it was in music, it was in culture, it was in art, it was in creativity, and all those things started to converge. And then I started
Mm,
to get an idea, and I started getting
love it.
aha, and that's when I was like, okay, this is interesting, and I started to kind of see how things were converging and how things were accelerating in the tech space. And I started seeing how in the agency space in particular, because I one of the things I always was interested in was helping businesses to be profitable, to be successful. And I think a lot of that started because I was a young entrepreneur in a sense. I was one of those
Mm.
kids. I'll watch a cartoon show or whatever, and I'll see them selling lemonade, and I want to go not only sell lemonade, I want to sell Kool-Aid. And I'm like, look, if you can sell lemonade for 5 cents, I can sell Kool-Aid for 10 cents, right? So I was always like that. I was always
Yeah.
doing something, getting my hands mixed up in something, or trying something completely off the wall. Whether it's with
Ah,
basketball, with sports, and I was always bringing my passions into it. So I'm a very passionate
okay.
guy. So I'm always like, hey, how can
Yes.
this how can this go forward? How can this make impact? How can this? So I've always had a really, really wild imagination in a sense.
I
So I see
love
things
it.
from a different perspective. And as I started to, even throughout college, and then afterwards, as I started, people started coming to me for help for their websites and technology, different things, because that's where a lot of my concentration was in programming
Gotcha.
and then in business. And so people come to me and they're like, hey, this is internet thing. I got this business I want to put up on the website. And I'm like, okay,
Awesome.
cool. So I was like, do you have a business plan? Oh, okay, let's do that. Do you have a marketing plan? Oh, okay, let's do that. And then get the website up. They're like, okay, now my website up. Now what? I'm like, well, do you know anything about this
Wow.
thing called search engines? What's that? It's called Google. Let's go to Yahoo. Oh, okay, that's great. Oh, I heard about this social media thing. Okay, you want to get on social media? Okay, let's put together a plan, right? And then
Yeah.
people started coming to me for strategy. First it started with me
Okay.
helping them to build the things and build the assets so they can be found. In a sense, when you think about the World Wide Web and any communication medium, really, they are like seeds. They're like
Mm-hmm.
breadcrumbs.
Right.
Ultimately, the aim is your product or your service, right? But
Mm-hmm.
people have
Mm-hmm.
to taste your product and your service. They have to experience your product and your service. They got to hear about your product and your service. They got to
Yep.
feel the impact of your product and your service around them. So like that's really what I started helping people with. And then the next thing, I started having some different ideas about the landscape and how things were shifting again. You have that kind
Mm-hmm.
of moment in life. I believe there's times to go and there's times to stop and meditate and think,
Mm.
right? So I'm really big
Yeah.
on that. When I work with my clients, they might be like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do the app, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, we can do all of that, but are you in the right season to do that, right? And finances to do that. Okay, so people got to kind of take a step back. Where do I want to go? Where am I as far as my maturity in my business? Where I want to go, impact I want
Mm-hmm.
to make, and then
Mm-hmm.
how can we put together a strategy to bring it to life? And so people started coming to me for that, and then it went deeper with that. I wrote my first book, and I started kind of sharing some of my ideas, and I shared it
Mm.
with my mentor, and I showed a couple of people, and they're like, "Hey, look, this is good stuff. I think you're onto something." And I was okay. Let me continue to explore this a little bit, and
Good.
I started having some bigger companies come to me, and that was really awesome. Then I started working with some nonprofits, and then we started doing some work even locally too, and that's kind of when I started thinking, okay, maybe I got something here because I think if whenever you find something that you do and that you love, or something that you really have, almost like when like in sports when you say this kid's a natural, right? There's a difference
Yeah.
between being
Yeah.
talented
Yeah.
and then being God gifted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was to say Floyd Mayweather, I say he's God gifted. He's from out
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
He was
I
the
got you.
boxer, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. So it's kind of finding that dynamic and finding your identity. So I was like, oh, you know what? This is an area I'm really interested in. I'm always interested about being pioneering. I'm always interested about being in the new. I have many interests, and I feel like I have the ability to connect the dots quickly. And so people will come to me, and as I started to see how my mind worked in other areas, and then also with businesses, I was like, this is something that I could do.
Mm. That's phenomenal, bro.
Mhm.
I just yeah, you really segued into a couple of things that I wanted to ask. So you really just kind of told me that you didn't choose digital marketing, it actually chose you. It
Mhm.
chose you and it pushed you to another level, man. Isn't that funny? Isn't that how it talks about, I've heard how, many people are adopted into the faith. And what does that mean? When
Mhm.
you're adopted, that means you're chosen to be in a family.
Mhm.
So, the marketing world, or if somebody wanted to just say the marketing gods, chose you to be a vessel to, make sure that businesses are seen, heard, and they have their vision appropriately put out, man.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
chosen.
I mean, I think I think it's really the way I look at life and the way I look at
Yeah.
even business. I think it's a journey,
Hmm.
and there are different signposts, and I feel like there's different elements that you take when you go through that journey, and there's different experiences that
Absolutely.
you get that's going to help to
Hmm.
equip you ultimately for where you're going to go. And
Yes.
so different experiences, and that's why I try to do when I work with my clients. I'm like, hey, look, it's more than just putting out an ad. It's more than just
Yes.
creating a social post. It's really about creating an experience
Hmm.
and something that you can bond with your audience on, or how you can
Hmm.
engage with them or make an impact with them.
I love it.
And content is
Absolutely.
usually the avenue that does that. So I have, it's like the way I look at it when I work with somebody, I think of it like I have a toolbox with different
Mm,
tools, right? And it's like, okay, what do we
mm.
need in this situation? Do you need to improve your copywriting? Do we need to improve your design? Do we need to improve your strategy? Do we need to improve your technical prowess as far as what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table to improve your delivery? I look at
Hmm.
all those different things, but I feel like it's just part of the journey where I'm going. So, Right now it's digital marketing, but things are going, they're changing quickly. It's going into, I've talked to you a little bit about this. I've been fascinated with blockchain and blockchain development. So
Yes,
I,
yes.
I've been very busy, man. I've been very busy as far as just studying, because before I really go out there and put my foot out into anything, I want to
Mhm.
understand the territory. I want to understand the concepts and understand how it applies to where the next is going. We go from Web 1.0, Web 2.0, Web 3.0
I
to
like that.
blockchain. And
I
people are going to
love
be like,
that.
wait a minute, where was this? Just like they said, wait a minute, where was this World Wide Web? Wait a minute, this
Yeah.
is not the system that they used to print books, right? So
Right, right,
innovation works like that. It's in cycles, but you got to see it, you got to
man.
get a glimpse of it, and then you got to see how you can apply it and bring it back.
That's amazing, man. Wow. That is awesome that you can actually do that, man. And I'm glad that you're on that I know you, and I could reach out to you, that I can speak to you, and that you're on the team to help really make the brand of Standard and KR3 and Co. and other things, SM Live and everything about the brand to higher heights, man. I'm really excited about that. And we'll get ready to wrap up in just a second. I just want everybody to be able to meet you, know you, and know who's working with me and who you can work for, who they can work with you as well and connect with you. And if they want their businesses to go from 0 to 100% within the next couple of months, you are the guy that they need to be speaking with. Now, a couple more questions and then we'll be wrapping up. Tell me this: why do you think it's important to market the business, man? Why is it important? I mean, I know that's kind of ABC question, but a lot of people don't understand the importance of marketing their business.
You know what's interesting? I think, and like you say, you're right. This is a core part of business, right? As far as
Hmm.
marketing your business, and a lot of people, they don't. When a lot of people I speak to, they don't really appreciate the importance of it as far as their business, as
Hmm.
far as being an investment in the success of their business. I think we need to kind of analyze that a little bit, unpack that a little bit. Why do people not market their business? And I think a lot of times it's because of insecurity. You know what I mean,
Mm,
or inferiority, or fear, right? It's like,
I
hey,
like that.
because what happens when you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, you're
Mhm.
basically putting yourself out in the public.
You are. That is
Okay,
true.
yeah, you're putting yourself out in the public, and if you know, like, hey, like, man, I'm just getting started, or hey, or I don't really know what to say, or hey, I might be very good at this, right? I'm very
Hmm.
good at this craft. Maybe I'm very good at creating this widget, right? And I'm
Hmm.
a great inventor, or maybe I'm very good as far as putting out this product, or I'm very good at helping people as far as their relationships, or with real estate, or whatever product or service, fill in the gaps, right? And then you come
Hmm.
to this space where it's like, okay, there's so much noise, there's so much going on here. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused, or
Hmm.
how do I look on the camera, or what do I say? Where do I start, right? So it all goes back to the
Absolutely.
core of who we are as people, and I think we have to get comfortable understanding that it's a marketplace. In business, you're in a marketplace, and a
I love that.
marketplace has two sides to it. It has you
Hmm.
as the vendor, as the provider, and it has
Hmm.
your consumer, the client, the customer, however you call them, right?
Hmm.
But there's a
Hmm.
gap. And marketing helps to cross that gap, because marketing to me is really about communicating a promise,
Love
right?
it. I
And,
love
and
that. Say that
ultimately,
again, man.
okay,
Say that
marketing to me
again.
is really about communicating a promise.
I love
Okay,
that, man. Man.
it's about communicating a promise and say, hey, look, if I work with, so this is some of the mistakes that people make, and this is why people, maybe they try some things and they fail, and they're like, okay, I don't want to do this marketing anymore. I spent this much money. I hate this feeling, right? Okay, but look,
Right.
it starts with, okay, what is the promise? What promise are you making to the marketplace? What's the change? What's the transformation? What's the impact someone gets from working
Okay.
with you, from buying your product, from listening to or reading Standard magazine, right? A lot of times people are
Hmm.
selling features. We got to be selling
Wow.
benefits. I come to you, I go to Home Depot. If I have a hole in my wall, right? Why am I going to Home
Yeah.
Depot? I want to fix the hole in the wall. Right? Hey, I'm going down there. I don't want to buy a hammer. I don't need a hammer, man. I need something that's going to help plaster the wall. I may not know the language. I may not know the lingo. And it's up to you to communicate and help me to cross that gap, that chasm, right?
Wow. Wow. That is a awesome way of placing that there, Mr. Sonor. I definitely can appreciate your wisdom And what I've learned, and we're going to be wrapping up. What I do, what I've learned as a life insurance agent. A lot of people don't know that I do sell insurances, but you will be knowing soon. But what I've learned is, as a person who is into financial services, you have a responsibility to take care of. If you're going to do something and present a product to a client, it is your responsibility to know what you're serving or to know what you're offering. So you have a responsibility to learn and teach yourself. It's not about just getting the money. It's not about, bridging the gap between you and the product or the person and the product. You need to ensure that whatever the person is purchasing and buying, even though they like you and they trust you, but you want to make sure that later on that this person stays with this product and not just stay with the product, but grow with the product, grow from the product. Even if they leave one section and go to the next level within this same orientation, you have done your job in really letting them know what they have.
Mhm.
And so I love what you said, that the marketing is selling the promise, man.
Mhm.
That is amazing, brother. That is really, really amazing, man. So before we wrap up on the couch, man, listen, I want to tell you, thank you for being a part. Those who watch the couch, watch Kay's couch. Listen, we'll be having Mr. Sarnor back. He'll be giving some more information, but you can also catch him. Subscribe to the link on Standard Mag. He has some
Yes.
creative writings that will be in our business section every other month. So we will be premiering our business edition next week. So we have an awesome cover. And then within the realms of this edition, Mr. Blamah Sarnor will be having some tips. Now, before we go, I'm going
You
to
gotta
ask you to
you
provide.
gotta give him a little glimpse. I'm not gonna let you go without saying a little glimpse. So there's an article that I wrote for Gary. This is gonna help a lot of businesses. Whether you are a startup, whether you are just getting started, you're in the momentum phase, or you are ready to scale. I wrote an
Yes.
article dealing with how to systematically, you know,
Yes.
sell online. I think it's going to provide a lot of value. So
Oh, man.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely take a look at that and definitely get a subscription.
Please listen. The article is phenomenal. I am not going to. I'm the type of person, when you go to a movie, if you've seen the movie already, I don't want you to tell me about it. So I'm not going to do that to anybody.
Just give a
So
trailer.
you
Just give a
have
trailer. Just give a trailer. That's all I want to
to.
see. This movie. Get them excited.
The trailer is good. So you need to subscribe so you can take a look. So before we go, one free simplistic tip for the audience. What do you got for us for the business, for
All right, so,
marketing?
all right, so I'm gonna give a tip that's versatile. So if you're just getting started, a lot of people that are probably watching this are just getting started, or they may feel like they're just getting started as far as getting their business out there and getting some traction. I would tell you, start with what doesn't scale. Start
Say
with
that again.
what doesn't scale. And what does that mean? When I think of business, I think especially early on, I think of my experience as an athlete a lot of times. And
Mhm.
to me, I play football. So to me, business is a full contact sport, right? I think, you got to make sure they feel you on the defensive end, and offensively, you got to make sure you're aggressive. You're
I
taking
love it,
shots down
man.
the field. So like as far as before you even go out and before you go out there and perform on the field, you got to have the
Mhm.
basics, right? You
Mm.
got to have a team, right? So you got to make
Mhm.
sure you have the legal support, make sure you have
Mm.
coaching, make sure you have
Mm.
good employees. And if it's just you, if you're a solopreneur, make sure you have the tools. You have your branding offline and online, right? You have things you can carry, things you can get, people can touch, they can feel, they can taste. If you can do that from your small scale, if you're able to DM somebody and share something of value, right, up
Mm.
front, then that person's going to come back
Mm.
to you and say, "Hey, how can we work together?" If you're able to give a trial for a product that you have, right, and you provide a lot of value, a person's going to say, "How do I subscribe?" If you're able
Mm.
to communicate clearly to your marketplace what is wrong in the marketplace and how you're coming to help to correct that, you're going to have to build an audience. So those are some of the things I really believe is start with what doesn't scale. Start small and then expand.
Oh, man. Listen, listen. That was information I feel like someone should have paid for. But listen, it's all good. Listen, and listen, I appreciate you there, Blamah. Thank you so much for being available
Absolutely.
and for being one of the one of the writers with the magazine, and we are going to be growing. And I'm thankful for what you provide in the conversation you provide, the intellect and the perspective you provide. And we're going to be going higher. I know you're definitely going higher. And so, Case Couch, those who will watch the replay, those who have watched while we were live, thank you for being a part today. And again, to everybody, thank you for the birthday love that I had on yesterday. And you guys really know how to show somebody that they're special. Thank you so much for that. And any last words before we go, Mr. Sarnor? Anything that you want to leave out?
I guess, I mean, if there's anything I can't really put enough emphasis on, I think it's, you know, don't operate your business, don't operate your life in a place of fear. I think that's the biggest
Love
thing
it.
I can say is you look around you, you see what you hear in the news. A lot of businesses in this past year, we've gone through a lot of trauma, right? We've ups and
Yeah.
downs. People have gone through their own challenges personally. I
Yeah.
say take this time to analyze and align yourself with what you're doing and why you're doing it and focus
Love
on
it.
purpose. Purpose, if you've chased purpose, profit will follow.
Mm. Say it one more time before we go.
If you pursue purpose, profit
Mm.
will follow.
Listen, if I ain't take nothing else from this particular conversation, if you pursue purpose, profit will follow. Listen, we're gonna end it right there. Listen, Case Couch has been real conversations with Blamah Sarnor. Listen, you guys already know I love life and live love because I only have one. Listen, y'all be good and be blessed, and I'll be talking to you guys very soon. All right, peace.